Hello, my name is Hunter Coleman, and today I will be demonstrating my level for Milestone2 Xtremery Studios game Dusk and Dawn. In advance, I want to apologize for the sound. That is my computer. The school gave it to me. It's not my fault. It sounds like an airplane. All right, so let's jump right in. I am the first level, so we'll just hit start. You might have noticed there's some other options there. The other designers might go over that for you. And first things first, I did take on some extra tasks just based on feedback that we got from last, one of which was that some of our levels were really long and we could have used a checkpoint. My level this time is not that long, but it is still useful, and I will still demonstrate the checkpoints. And a cool thing that we can do with our checkpoints is returning to them by pressing X if anything goes wrong. Now, as you come into the level, I think it's kind of just cool. It's very easy. This is sort of a tutorial for my mechanic, and then just a very basic intro level. Lots of storytelling. You'll see that you kind of need that platform to get on that jump. So, if you fall, it does not, it's not very punishing, which is good. And you probably realize that you need this. Why isn't it working? It should be saying press V to activate. Alright. So we jump across. And this is the second extra task I took on. There were a lot of issues that testers had with just not knowing what to do in certain levels in our game. So I added in signposts, and you can read them. And once you do, sometimes that might be helpful. The cool thing about these is, one, I like the way the parchment looks. Kind of gives it a cool medieval feel, which is something we're going to. Adds to the storytelling. And additionally, all of these are completely editable and transferable between levels. So you can just choose a signpost, and then you can actually enter in the details panel what you would like it to say. And this is the first time we're going to see my mechanic. So my mechanic is going to be rope swinging. And I'm very happy with the way it turned out. Basically what we do is we have these, and then you can see that little thing right there. So once we press K to attach, as the signpost said to do, you jump down, you come across, and it throws you up. Well, the wind throws you up. It's not always going to do that, obviously. And then I'm going to read this one because I like it. Rest here, weary traveler. If ever you are lost, press X to return to your last visited sleeping bag. Also, if you die, it was just a dream. You will wake up safe and sound at your sleeping bag. Yes, a very nice way of explaining what I already said. Alrighty. So, now we will just kind of go through. Also, I'd like to mention the reason for that image there. You see it's gone now. When you are within range of a checkpoint, it will show you which one you're in range of, and also it adjusts to where your character is, so it always kind of stays in a visible point for you, which was not as easy to implement as it might look at this point. So you use that, jump across, I'm going to activate this, and I am actually going to try something that hopefully won't work, because normally, oh man, I was too good. I'm going to fall, just so you guys can see how this works, and it returns us to that checkpoint whenever we die. Alright, that was pretty quick of me, and normally I don't make it. I play with a trackpad. Alright, so we come back up here, we hit this again. Definitely wouldn't have made it this time. Alright, then we have another one here. Player jumps up. And now we have this one, and you'll notice you don't see a hook point on it yet. It's because you're going to have to jump to it. We're not close enough. And another interesting thing about the hooks is that there's actually something that you kind of need to understand about it, which is that you can jump on it, and then after you could double jump, basically in the entire sequence without touching the ground, you get to choose 1 point to double jump. So it can add some interesting choices for the player at times, where here you're going to need, and I'm not going to demonstrate dying again, so I'm going to do this the right way, but you're going to need to double jump, then grab, and then jump off, because it affects the length of the rope, and you want to be really close to that thing. Otherwise, your rope's too long and you sink too far. So now we enter the focal point here. This area is not as complete as I would have liked. I did take on some extra things. Maybe I should have spent less time on making that sleeping bag so pretty over there, and more time on adding out the section that was going to be there and the section that was going to be there with some collectibles. And that would have been ideal. This is going to be a village eventually, and an abandoned village, and we'll kind of figure out more about that as the game progresses. I will go ahead and save here, and this is the last area. There's, the player can kind of figure out how they're going to want to go through this ahead of time. I've found a pretty simple way, but I'm assuming other players might try harder things. Honestly, it kind of feels like Spider-Man a little bit. I really like, and I didn't even know that it was going to feel this way, but you kind of, so you're going to have to use that jump there, and then I only have a single jump, so I have to really use it well. Excellent. And that is not as easy as it looks. I've failed that so many times before I figured out that pattern there. And this is the end of my level. Just want to make sure I got through everything I wanted to talk about. We got the checkpoints. We got the hooking. We got the shadow. Did I talk about the shadow? I'm not sure if I mentioned the shadow. We got some feedback about our platforming and how hard it was to know where that we were going to land. So I did add this in. It was real simple. Just a line trace with the start at the player and then the end at the player location, or at the location minus. Oh no, the end of the trace is at like minus 1600 on the Z. So for our purposes, it will always work. I think that about does it. And at this point, if I go through this portal, it will take us to our next designer, Kiaen Brown. And just to demonstrate, I'll go ahead, step in, and this will be his level. I'll hand it off to you, Kai. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Hello, my name is Kiaen Brown, and today I will be showing off my level for the Milestone2 build. So it starts out kind of like in this dark area, and then the player has to jump down into the level. I wanted to do something different from last time, which was that they just walked through like it was still like a broken area. It was like a broken doorway with a pillar that fell down. So this time they kind of like land into the level, and then um, they'll see here if they like came to this door first. There's a door. They can't get past. There's a key. Looks like some broken pieces there, some broken keys, and there are some dead people. It looks like. Um, so something definitely happened here. And then right here is the first thing they could pick up in the level for my feature, which is to pick up the pouch. And when they pick up the pouch, then they get the current item UI on their screen. And now this key that they couldn't do anything with, now it lights up when they get close enough. And if they get close to it, they can collect it. And now the door as well can be activated with the key, or well, opened. So if I press R, it opens the door. And we enter this next area, which is um, destroyed. Everything is like broken in here. The columns have collapsed. The railings have been broken. And so this was kind of like, but I wanted to kind of like go for like a destroyed area that the player had to like pick up bits and pieces of to like get to the next area. And so right there I just picked up a broken stick. And so now with the inventory, it now says my next item, so I can switch between the two items by pressing F. If I come over here, there's another one. I can pick up this broken piece of that railing right there. I tried to make all of the like every single thing like like if I broke something off and I wanted to use it, I like tried to make sure like it realistically looked like it was actually broken off of something. So now if I come over here, I can plug this hole with the broken stick, and then there's another one here if I jump. I plug that one, and now I can get up here. And here's another one, a sturdy branch. But now we have two doors here. Um, this one is blocked, but this one, it's asking if I want to use the main key. If I use the main key, I can open it, and now I can enter here. And this is another puzzle for the player to try to figure out. So there's three pedestals here, um, and then there's three spears. And so what I wanted to have was like the what I had originally done was I put this light in the level, this blue light in the room, and what I was thinking was once I like put these pedestals in and I saw what um, like they looked like under the blue light, my idea came into my head of what about if like the point of the puzzle was to try to figure out which um, pedestal these spears go on based on it like what their color would be if they matched with that blue light. So this is kind of like this is a yellow pedestal, but it looks kind of greenish because of the blue light. So um, maybe it needs to the yellow spear. So if I use the yellow spear on it, it disappears from my inventory, and I get a good sound. Then this one is kind of bluish, so the white plus blue, that maybe that's the light blue color, so that works. And then the red spear, this is supposed to be kind of like purplish, but it looks kind of blackish. But that red and blue, that's the purple. And then it spawns a right door metal, and the puzzle is solved. And that item I picked up earlier, that sturdy branch, I can now use that here. So this pillar is like glowing to say that the player can actually do something with it, because even though I want them to like find what they have to do, I still want it to like for some scenarios to make sure, you know, um, things stood out if they needed to do something with them. So this pillar like just when they enter the yellow is yellow compared to the other ones that are white. And then it does this glowing thing when they're near it, and they can push it over to let this down. And now they can get over here. And so this, this railing is the only like broken part of the railing, and then those are the broken pieces there. Um, these broken pillars, their broken pieces are there. And I tried to um, leave that space over there like empty, but put some stuff over here to hopefully draw attention to this area, since there was an item the player needed over here. But it looks like with the build that the current item is kind of going off the screen. Um, but now if I come to this side door, I can use the main key again, and it does a kind of cool opening compared to the other door. And then I come in here, and so this puzzle, I want when I was working on the item interact, I wanted to think of like for both sides two different types of ways the the item interact feature could be used. And so one was placing the items um, in certain places, and the other type was using the items in certain ways. So this one, if I pick up this minute hand here, then I can come over here and I can fix this clock with the minute hand, and now I can turn the clock. And so the idea of this is to use the minute hand the right way, um, so that it lines up with this. And now this is activated. And so this wire, when this is turned the right way, activates. If I turn it again, then it becomes unactivated. And so once seeing like the hour hand make that one glow, that will hopefully give the player an idea of what they're looking for. And then you just got to activate both of these at the same time. Sound plays. If they look at this clock behind them now, it spawned another metal piece. So I can collect that. And then also that this door up there was also blocked off as well. So they couldn't go in there. I was going to add 2 more puzzles that were just going to be like they were going to be like extended versions of the first puzzles on their side, but with like a hint of that second feature. So this one was going to be another puzzle that was based off of placing things in the right place, but also you had to use an item in a right way to place it somewhere. And then over there, that was focusing on using items in the right way. So that second room would be um, using an item, using some items in the right way, but you had to maybe place them in a specific spot to use them the right way, and use them to do things. And that's also where I was going to add a lose condition of like if you got your answers wrong for the puzzle, then you would take damage each time you got it wrong. But the two medals that I picked up from both of the rooms, the left room medallion or the left door medallion, and left right door medal that I have here. If I use both of them, I can open this door, and then it goes to the next level. And that's the end of my level. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Austin Cordle, and here is my sprint video for this week here. We have the build in the depot here, change list. Now I did notice a strange issue when I'm launching it from the depot, which I will show you here. Select my level. I get an error here, but it does work when I launch it from my desktop, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we have the file, 323, 914, and then this is the unzipped one at 930. Let's go ahead and open this up. And here we are. Once again, my name is Austin Cordle, and these are my sprints, my issues for this sprint. So first, let's talk about the level. For the level I have, that I want to create a new level. That's this here. The next criteria is create a tutorial for each spirit before a player can progress through the level, which I'll show you up ahead. After tutorial level, player will reach a rest area, allowing them to use the spirit to explore. After the first rest area, the player will enter the first puzzle, requiring them to reuse abilities as they learn from the tutorial. After the first puzzle area, the player will enter a second rest area, where they can use their spirit again to explore. And then after the second rest area, the player will enter the final puzzle area, where they are required to use all of their abilities to progress. There's slight changes to that one, which I'll go into in a minute. And at the end of the final puzzle, the player will be rewarded with a key to progress to the next area within the hub world. That one's also been altered, which I'll go over as well. Next, we're going to go over the added mechanics. There are 4 added mechanics. There's a mechanic for each spirit, except for the wind. There's the normal, fire, ice, and earth. So for the criteria for all of them, because they're all the same, just different per spirit, is color matched to the spirit, only activated by the certain spirit, sound cue when destroyed, and door opens or path opens after the destructible is destroyed. So let's go ahead and go through the level. First, we have some flavor text here. Welcome to your first set of trials where you will learn to control your spirit. First is the normal spirit. And this is a little tutorial area. The color of the spirit will match the door it is used to open. For the first trial, use your normal spirit projectile at the target to open the door. Press 1 to select the normal spirit. That's escape. 1. Q to fire, and use your right mouse button to focus your aim. So we're going to use the right mouse button. Aiming's a little off, so let's go ahead and just that. Sound Q, door goes down. And that's all the criteria for the mechanics. You have the audio cue. Say if I shoot the normal spirit at this blue one here, which is the ice, nothing happens. So I'll read the text, well done. Next we'll use the ice spirit. As you can see, the color of the target and door have changed, so we got blue and blue. Be sure to pay attention to future objects to be sure you're using the correct element. So we're going to press 3 for the ice spirit. Q to fire, just like before, and mouse button for the aim, so zoom in. And with the ice spirit, audio cue, door goes down. This one's a little tricky for the earth. Fantastic. Again, the door and the target in the distance has changed colors, green. We will now use the earth spirit. Use this distance to hurl a boulder at the target in the distance. Press 4. We're going to change to the earth. Right mouse button, and we're Q to fire. This one's a little tricky because of the distance. So we're going to watch that go up, see if it hits. A little bit more forward. Let's see, that should be good. Perfect. Go ahead and head out. Alright, next. Great, some objects can be set ablaze. Use the fire spirit to burn the obstacle in your path. For this trial, you must burn the ground near the object. Get close, so we're close. 2 to change, and use the fire spirit. Press Q. And let it burn. Let's make things more interesting. The wind spirit can make you lighter for a short time. It can also greatly increase your jump height. Use the wind spirit to traverse the danger ahead. So 5 to switch to the wind. Q to use it, and just go ahead and jump. Amazing, yes we are. As you progress, more powerful abilities will be available to you. Keep your eyes open for hidden secrets as well. And good luck, hero. So let's move forward here. So first we have our first door. Select the normal spirit for this, zoom in, pop that down. Alright, so up against here is a add a mechanic that was not on Jira, it's my NPC. Press F. And hero, I heard the Lord of this region is expecting you, but it won't be easy to gain an audience with her. So we have a little idea as to what's going on. So of course we're going to explore, and we're going to see if we can get an audience with the Lord in this region. Let's see if we can hit that from here. We might need to move up. Nope, perfect. Now before we move forward, we are in a little rest area. Come to this hidden area here. We have another destructible here. Let's go ahead and pop that. And what do we got in here? In here, we have a health pickup. This is actually an extender, so it's going to give you a bonus to your health. And let's move forward. So right now, we're kind of going through the first main rest area. You got to use your spirits. So we use normal. We used ice. Now we're using wind. And we have some more spaces here. We have a door. We have a door. This one here looks like there's something past that. This one looks like it's pretty closed off, but there's definitely something there. Turn around, we have some lights. Let's go ahead and follow this. And then here, we have power extender. So this extends your stamina. So I can roll a little bit longer. So we have the main door there, but we have some fire. So let's go ahead and burn this down. Okay, what do we got else in here? We have another wooden door. And then in here, we have a normal destructible that matches the door outside. Pop that down. And as you can see, the pathway is now open. We're going to keep rolling. Alright, so we have a couple things here. We have another door. There's no button around here that we could see. We have a little castle up here. Let's go up these stairs. Let's see what else we find. Can't see anything underneath there. And looks like we have another NPC. Let's just walk up to her and see what she's got. Hero, just ahead is one of the Lord's castles. I hear that if you can reach the final door, you'll be granted an audience with the Lord herself. Okay, so let's see. Let's go ahead and click goodbye. We have the little castle here, and we can see a much larger structure over there. So first, let's go ahead and make our way through here, because obviously we can't get through that door yet. Ice. And this was another added mechanic. This is just a change of the other ones. These are my castle doors. That comes down here. Alright, so right away we see doors everywhere. So keep looking around. We have a target. Go ahead and break this. And we have another one here. It looks blue, so we got ice. Another door. There's also a little hidden another health extender here. This is a normal. And that just went in a good circle. We have another ice. And then we could see that door come up. A little light come through there so you can tell where it's coming from. Pop this one. Pop that one, and then we have the door here. This is normal again. Oop, I missed. Point blank, I missed. Alright, and we have another one here. This one is going to be ice, so you can see the blue. And then we have the final door there, and we see a target. Let's go ahead and head up into that room so we can hit it. And what do we have? More text. Congratulations, hero. It's been so long since I've had company. Please meet me in my grand castle. I will await your arrival. Let's go ahead and break this. More power so we can roll a little longer. And you can hear that door open in the distance out here. And we can move through. This is just a little tiny bit of a rest area here. We do have to solve a puzzle to get into the castle. There's going to be a little bit of a rest area before we actually get to the next puzzles. Let's go ahead and shoot this one down. That's one drawbridge. Then in here we have some windows. So the player can't actually jump in through here. Pop this one down here. Perfect. And this, welcome hero, please come inside. I have a challenge prepared ahead. If you succeed, you'll be greatly rewarded. Let's move through here. Looking around. See a door. But we're not seeing any buttons or anything. If you look up, it's right there. Oop, wrong one. There we go. There we go. Now let's move through. So in here, we have two paths. This one's not as lit. This one's a little bit more. I want to go this way. Both of them will still take you to the same area, which I'll show you up ahead. That little pathway wraps around and brings you back over here. It also takes you out to the other side. But first, as we're walking through here, Explorer, we see a target. What else do we have here? We have what looks like a little courtyard, some grass, and we have some doors here. That's a blue light. Let's see. Let's keep looking around here. Oh, we see a blue light there. We got a blue light here, so let's hit this one first. You can hear the rumbling of the door. Let's shoot this one now. That's ice. So as you can see, it didn't destroy it, so we're going to shoot it with the normal spirit. Okay. We gotta shoot that blue target we saw earlier. And the last door is open. So that's actually a 3 destructible piece there. So you gotta shoot all 3 to open the door. And hero, you have exceeded my expectations. I have one final challenge ahead. Let's see if you are worthy of this reward. Go ahead and head up the stairs here. And around. And in here, we can see we have a bunch of glass everywhere. It's an extension of that little courtyard. But in here, we have 4 doors. We have a normal, an ice, and an ice. Let's go ahead and hit the normal one first here, because that's the only button I see. And we have an opening. We have our first little puzzle area. You can see the target there. It's a little bit brighter, a little bit more obvious. Next wall. All those lights, and again, target there. A little brighter, a little bit more obvious. And now the tricky one. Above us. So this one, the target's not as obvious. We're going to keep walking around until we find it. And there it is, right there. Right in the corner, hidden away. Oh. And a little bit higher there. There we go. And that is it. You can see the Lord right there. Surrounded in our little glass section here. And hero, you have passed my trials and reached the final room, my grand castle. As a reward, I will grant you access to the domain of the Lord of Fire. He will not be as welcome as I. Be vigilant, hero, and good luck. So we're going to head and close that. And you can see there the bridge. So when the player actually walks across, they can see this area here. And we'll go ahead and pop through the portal. And here we are. We are now in Steven's level. Alright, that is my Jira issues there and a video of my level. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.
Alright, thank you. This is Steven Shipwash with Team Xtremery, and I'm going to show you what I've been working on. We're going to go ahead and load the build here. We're going to be loading my level, Steven's level, called, I've named it the Manor. And my user story is, as the player, I want to be able to use the normal spirit as a light source, so I can navigate through the level of playing at night to get to a large manor that has locked doors by keys. We skip to the end of the level. As we can see here, we're going to come up to an NPC. We're going to interact with this NPC. The journey will be dark. Press E while using your normal spirit to light your way. Make sure you make your way through the forest to the manor. Alright, thank you, Mr. NPC. And you're going to notice that it has a little bit of lag. But some of the completion criteria, the level will be at nighttime. The manor was built with enough space for the player to move around inside. We'll see that in a moment. There'll be sparse lighting for the path, as you can see here. We can kind of use we can activate this spirit here to be used as a light source by pressing the input key. There'll be dead ends in the tree line. There will be a key placed in the guardhouse, which you'll actually see here in just a moment as well. We're going to go ahead and move down in that direction. The lag was one of the biggest issues that I had with this. We weren't sure how to fix it yet. We'll go and talk to this NPC, see what he has to say. Alright, pick up the pouch on the table, grab the key to the front gate on the room behind me. Alright, thank you, Mr. NPC. Go ahead and grab this collectible. That's our pouch, so anytime we grab like a key or something like that, it will go inside of the pouch. Alright, now that we have the front gate key, it's actually displayed on the HUD there. Right, we'll move to the front gate. Front gate's just disappearing right now. working on a way to make it actually swing open in the correct way. Some of the more completion criteria I have for this: traps will be placed within the manor. Collectible page will be there. Holes will be placed on the floor. We'll have ghosts throughout the manor, which we'll actually have to interact with and fight. The last key will actually open up the back door so you can leave the manor. And you'll need actually a set number of pages to actually leave the level. We'll move here. We're going to move forward. We're going to notice we have another NPC. We're going to interact with this NPC. He's going to give us a little bit more information. Find your way through the manor. You will need to find keys placed throughout the manor to progress. Don't forget to look high and low. We want to make sure and actually look all everywhere, because that's where one of our design pillars is, to make sure that we look everywhere. All right. So now we have the front gate key. We're going to press F. As you can see there, it's right underneath the next item, front door. We'll press R to open this door. It's going to disappear. And you're going to notice at the bottom of the screen, it's going to give us a textual prompt to use your light spirit. If you haven't already turned it on, you can use that there. We're going to move over to this guy, this NPC here. And we're going to interact with him. He's going to talk to us a little bit. Step on this checkpoint. Once you step on the checkpoint, you can press X to return to it. This will update each checkpoint you find, and you'll spread throughout the manor. Be sure to look. You always want to make sure exploration is one of the keys to this game. We've reached our checkpoint. So let's just go and start exploring. We'll follow this rug here. We have a blocked door there. We'll notice I come into our first contact with our first ghost. They'll turn red. Attack them. Collect these collectibles. There's always collectibles throughout every level, and you'll see that there's one up here at the top. So anytime you see that, you can jump on top of these. You can try to jump up on top of them here. A little bit of lag. Yeah, we'll come back to those. That's fine. Yeah, see, we've been having a lot of lag with this one, and we weren't 100% sure on how to fix it, and so it's been one of those. It's an ongoing thing with us, with my level in particular. And we see how the light actually lights up different parts of the manor, so we're actually able to see a little bit better. I didn't even see that collectible that was sitting on the table there. And that the light source is actually able to help me with that. And as you can see here, our light is up at the very that key up there, sitting up there on top of that. If I can get up there. And we'll use these kind of like a little jump puzzle here. We want to make sure I hit them so we can get to our key. Once we're able to get the key here, that's our second floor key. We'll be able to use that in a little bit. Sound like I activated a ghost. I'll fight these ghosts. Get them. Okay, there we go. Perfect. And as you see here, it says use your normal spirit projectile to open the door. Press right mouse button to focus your aim, and Q to shoot the projectile. Right. Perfect. There we go. And that opened up this door right here. Extra health packs. And those are done with trigger boxes on the ground there. That helps keep the player informed about what's going on. And we want to make sure we kind of keep our light source with us, because light source does light up things regularly. There we go. And so we need to figure out which key we have. So on the far right, you actually see we have front gate, front door, and the second floor. We'll activate that. And we're going to go ahead and go to this first room here. Doors open up. Kill both of those. Press C to crouch. I'm going to notice some more traps on the floor that are placed there. And try to avoid those. Yeah, I gotta make sure I stay full health in here, because just in case those kind of ghosts. Yep. He ran back. So there's the holes in the floor right there, because it's a broken balcony, so you can't have to walk outside a little bit. So we'll move over here. We'll kind of just keep following this path. I laid the carpet here down so that it kind of gives more of a feel of a manor, but also it allows for like a golden path, so the player can kind of be like, oh, well, I need to follow that. As well as the collectible swords that are placed throughout the manor. You see them here. And when the light source hits them, it's able to light them up. We'll see that it's blocking our way, so we'll go out this way. Grab this health back. There we go. And we're going to keep on moving. The lag, like I said, is something that we're struggling on this level. But it seems to only be focused when looking in a certain direction into the level. So we got to figure where that's happening. But we were able to move the light source, so the light actually gives more like a flashlight feel to it, so it spawns straight forward instead of just around the player. Kind of gives it more of a, like I said, a flashlight feel for it. So these are the moving platforms that were discussed in the completion criteria. We wanted to make sure and have moving platforms, and so we'll actually be able to use the checkpoint here. So when I press X, we should be able to spawn back at that previous checkpoint. That way we're not having to run all the way back through the manor. And I did it again. Keep respawning there until we make this jump. Keep moving, kill these ghosts. There's always ghosts in the manor, always has to be ghosts in a dead manor. So we want to make sure to look high and low for everything, and if you see how it lights up, it's harder to see when you don't have your flashlight on. Go and grab that. The light source provides a lot of help throughout the level. That's why sometimes we gotta wait for him to kind of catch up. Sometimes he sticks with you really close, and then sometimes if you're a little quick. So we need to change keys. So we have roof access, and we're heading up to the top. And we're going to notice this puzzle again. Since we already know how we're going to do it, we're going to go ahead and utilize our normal attack. Open the door. And now that we're on the roof, we got another jump puzzle for us here. Collect these swords. Okay. And we're going to collect the back door key. This is our final key that we need to collect before we can move on. So you're like, okay, so do I have to go all the way back to the manor? No, we took care of that for us. In the design aspect of this, we want to make sure I kill this ghost before I collect my health back. Alright, and we see an NPC here. Alright, congratulations, you're almost there. The roofing looks a bit weak. You may want to try your slam attack. We also call it the buddy attack as well. Buddy slam. Get my checkpoint. Health. And popped up on those little damaging cones there. Alright. Now that I got my page, we'll be able to move on to the next level. We'll jump, and we're going to do a buddy slam by pressing C after doing a jump, as it says at the bottom. And we'll fall to the second floor. So now all we have to do is just do a little bit of backtracking, not too much, because I left an opening here on the from the first floor here. And it looks like the lag happens a lot more on the first floor, so we'll see if we can maybe focus more on that. So we're going to go ahead and move. Now that we have the back door key, we should be able to exit out this back door. Press R to open up, and we are ready to go. I'm going to step on this. There we go. Our checkpoint. You can go across that. Just for the sake of the video, I'm not going to. There's a death. If you fall into the water there, you will die. Just for the sake of the video, I'm going to walk around. That's for people who are a little more daring. But the final completion, you have to the final door at the back of the manor will require a set number of pages, and this will actually conclude my level after walking through our portal door here. All right, and this is the end of my level. And thank you, and we're moving on to Aaron here. All right, thank you.
Hi guys, my name is Aaron Carter. I am with Team Xtremery, and this is our most recent level prototype. So I'm going to open it from the depot here. So I will just go right to my level here. Loads up. It's a little darker than I wanted it to be, but luckily, I don't know. Maybe if I give it a second. Okay. So luckily our spirit here has a point light. So I'm going to use the light. In this beginning area, I did want to kind of flush it out if this is the level I'm going to stick with to build for the game. Something different. I like the whole entrance area. I did want the grass to be coming through the snow because it kind of gives it like a spring vibe. As you can see over here, when you move through, you can't get through this area actually in any of the spots, so you're going to use the road here and kind of follow it along. Around here I can turn the light off because it stops, but yeah, the grass is still showing. Kind of poking through the snow gives it a nice little change. It has a weird glow to it, but I think that's because of the way I made the lighting. So the lighting is definitely something I want to change because it seems like it's brighter over there than it is over here. But that's something I have to work with. So there are two paths here. This one leads right to the boss room, which we will get to eventually. And this one leads up to the first point, which is going to be the church here. So you can see there's an enemy out front. If I use my fire, get his attention, I could drop a fireball and it will stop him. Wait a second so I can use it again. Get inside here. Drop it in here. Gets all those guys. I can collect the page in the church here. And then we can cross this bridge that we were trying to get through before. There's a couple more enemies here. If I kind of round them up, AoE them down, they all die. Cross the way. Head into here. This is a bar. So jump up. Lighting's a little dark, you know, again, another lighting issue. You can collect the page here. If you read the sign, the number one rule of this bar is do not stand on any table or bar top. So one thing I added is a little Easter egg. If you do break the rules, the bartender will tell you, didn't your mother ever tell you? Tables are for glasses. Get them. The patrons of the bar all get up in one fluid motion, turning and attacking the hero. They are all waiting for me. As I land, they're going to attack. And I can burn them all down or just hit them if it doesn't seem to work. Our AI targeting is a little off. So then once you do that, you have enough pages to get through the final level aside from the boss fight up here. So I'm just going to kind of jump over the wall. Most of these walls you can't jump up, so you should have that capability. So follow this path now, which will lead you to a platforming area. I took the feedback from the last level and made my platforms a little bit bigger. I still wanted there to be the challenge, but not as hard. So as you jump through, the chances of you falling are very slim, but it's still an option. So when you get here, obviously you got the ice lake below you. Still frozen over, obviously, but only on the top. The lighting kind of messed up here a little bit. It's hard to see. If I switch over and give myself the light, obviously you can see them a lot better. Then you get here, Hero, the Lord of the Land, the frozen that has frozen this land is behind that door. Use your fire ability up close to the door and burn it down. So with the light, just because I've messed up with my light, you can see that there's a door here. You can't walk through it. So if I switch to my fire ability, I can drop my fire there. It'll burn the door down. And once that's gone, here's your boss. Best way I found to do this, I do have to update his collision box, it looks like. I don't want to die. Okay, so once you beat him, that's it. You collect another page, and you can go through the door, which takes you to the next level. And this is where I'm going to hand it off to Cass. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Hello, my name is Mason Burnett, and this is my Milestone2 review for Team Xtremery. I will start by going to my level. As you begin right here, these trees help break up the void. If the player walks up to them, there are some invisible collision boxes that prevent them from going outside of the map. If they continue walking forward along the path, there are some UI messages. This one says, "This must be Wind Mountain. I heard the Wind Lord presides over this area. I'm sure that if we defeat him, we'll get a new ability to help us on our adventure." As they continue walking forward, there will be more UI messages, such as, "I think I see the Wind Lord over there. Wow, this was easy. Let's walk across that flimsy bridge and go get him." Right here, there's more invisible walls to the left and right to prevent the player from going off the side. That way they're forced to go along this bridge path or just fall down into the sliding path that leads them down. Across there, they can see the Wind Lord. Another UI message says, "Be careful." Whenever that bridge is touched, it falls down and then destroys actor, forcing them along this path. They go in here. Another UI message. "That was scary. It looks like we're in a cave now. We need to find a way out." So I walk up to the store, it pops up a message, "This wall looks weird. Maybe that same colored block will let us walk through it. Haha." If they touch the wall, it has collision that prevents the player from going through it. If they go up to the block, it says R to interact. Once picked up, there's another wall around here to bring incentive to explore. They get more swords. But once they pick up that little green cube, it removes the collision on those green walls. This is a checkpoint. If the player dies or presses X, it returns them to this point. Right here, I have more UI messages. This one's pretty long. Every time the player overlaps it, it activates it. That way, just in case they didn't have time to read it, they have a chance again. But it just lets the player, it reminds the player how to use the wind ability and what it does. It says, "We better be careful making these jumps. Looks like if we fall, we could be falling forever. Make sure to use the wind ability for this one. You remember how to do it, right? Activate the wind spirit and press Q to jump higher and further for 8 seconds. Excuse me. As they jump across here, there's another UI message that says, "Hey, wait for me. It is dangerous to go alone." The spirit takes time to deactivate the ability and catch back up to the player. And the 8 seconds notification before that was to let the player know that they have a certain time frame that this ability is active. So while you possibly could make 2 pillars in one jump, it is not very easy, so it's best to be patient. Another UI message on this next pillar, just to help with the story a little bit more, break up the extra space. "These pillars look man-made. I wonder who put these here." This ability is very similar to my charge jump ability from Milestone 1, but at the time I was unaware of my classmate Kai. He made the spirits, and I didn't know what the wind spirit was going to be able to do at the time. I was only aware of the fire and the ice one, and it's just a lot better than the charge jump, especially if we're going to go with the spirit system. Plus, it's a lot more fun to use. Sometimes the gravity does get a little out of whack. Another checkpoint. More trees. These do not have invisible walls because I didn't want them to climb the mountain and be able to jump on top of it. But if the first set of trees didn't let them continue through it, then these should insinuate the same message, just visibly. Now, if they continue along the path around the mountain right here, another UI message says, looks like we need the wind ability again to make those high up jumps to climb the mountain. Now, instead of jumping far gaps, they forward, they have to jump far gaps upward. Get them some more practice with the wind ability. Just like whenever you normal jump, the longer you hold down the jump button, the higher you jump. So if you let the first jump reach its maximum height, it will get you a lot higher, which is what this next one does. You'll have to get the maximum amount of height you possibly can to be able to make this jump, minus like an inch or two. Check out that large group of enemies. I have an idea. Try pressing G with the wind spirit active to push those enemies off the cliff. In my level, since it's a wind level, I added a new ability, unbeknownst to the player at the beginning, that allows them to push and damage large groups of enemies at once with the G key. This is to help them not have to do the normal spin attack on a bunch of enemies or the normal attack. It just gives them another option for our large horde. Whenever you press G, it damages a bunch at once. Like so. Just normal take this guy out of the way. Let's try to get a better angle. Like that. Nope. Then it says right here, I think I can do this because of the strong wind currents here. After we leave this place, I'm sure we won't be able to use this ability again. Right here it says that enemy in the back looks different, like he's made of metal. I'm not sure we can damage something like him just yet. Unfortunately, in the build, my metal enemies did not carry over. The wind slice ability that goes with the spirit can still be demonstrated, but the purpose for the metal enemy was to give them a heads up on these enemies can't be damaged by any other attacks, and if they choose to try to damage the enemy with any attacks, it won't do anything. This is also like a safe little testing area for them. So they'll just have to go around the enemy. Right here, if they go right, there's some more jumps. I'll explain more about the metal type enemy once we get to the wind slice ability. Continues climbing up the mountain. This next little area, instead of having enemies, it's a rest area for the player. That way they can recover some health lost, take a minute to recuperate, get another checkpoint to stand on. Walking forward, it says nothing else this way, must be another way up. They go back a little bit more, they can see more jumps they have to make. It's hard to see from that jump over there, and you cannot make it from the one below. You can only make it from the rest area because it is a little bit higher. This next jump should have some more UI, giving the player a heads up to the Windlord. And it says Oh, maybe the next one. Sorry. I can sense the Windlord is close. Are you ready? I heard he can be damaged by normal spirit attacks. That's to give the player a little hint that he is weaker to normal spirit attacks. He can also be damaged by the normal spin attack, but he cannot be damaged by other spirit attacks such as fire or ice. So you've made it to the top of my mountain. Well, your journey ends here. Excuse me again. Let's get closer to him, activate him, try to attack him with the spirit. He is a little fast because he is stronger and he's taller, so the spirit does have a bit of a hard time trying to keep up. He also has more health than normal enemies. Let's get out of his range, make him return to his anchor point. And then we'll aim at him and damage him. Game is a bit laggy because of OBS Studio requires a lot of my computer. But we'll just send out a bunch of attacks and we will get this going. As he's being damaged, he also has less launch distance when being attacked. As you can see off in the distance again, there is where we went across the bridge and fell down at. More trees to insinuate that the player cannot go past these. He should be close to death about now. Once he dies, he drops the pickup for the new wind ability. We'll just go over here and attack him if these don't kill him. And there it is. He is dead. There's the pickup. It is purple to show that it is related to the wind, just like when you first unlock the wind ability. But this one unlocks the secondary attack. Now if the player walks over along the path again, they'll get another UI message that says, you can probably use that new wind slice ability to cut these metal walls. Try pressing E with the wind spirit active. There are some more invisible walls to the left, right, and above to prevent the player from going around this metal wall. That way they're forced to use the wind slice ability on it. And once they do, it destroys the actor. This is where I would have some more metal enemies that, as previously they were shown that they cannot be damaged by other attacks. But with the new wind slice ability, since it destroys the metal wall, then it should insinuate that it should damage the metal enemy. There were also some more in this building to give them some more practice with it. But if they, now that they have this new ability, it says now that we have our new ability, we can go to the next area. And if they want to break these left and right metal walls, they can get some more swords just to insinuate a little bit more exploration. But the correct path to go is this wall right here. They break through it. They can go through the next forward portal into my classmate's level. Up next is Proue. And here's our level. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Proue, and I'm going to be showing my level for the second milestone. I'm going to go ahead and open it up here in Perforce. So starting off, we're placed in a mountainside area. Here is the Earth Temple up ahead. The player is going to naturally want to go up to it because that is the biggest and it's already pointing toward that way. So when we do go up to it, this rock is huge. There's no way we can get past it. There must be another way. I decided to add a lot more UI to help the player navigate. Makes it a lot easier. I have a trail on the floor to help lead the player to the what the item that they need. So if we continue to follow it, what's that up ahead? I feel a strange energy coming from it. So we're gonna go ahead and pick it up. What that did was it unlocked the power that we need to get into that temple. Walking back, we unlocked a new power. Let's go try it out on that big rock that is blocking the temple path. So going back here, we'll get some more direction. Let's try using our new earth power to break this rock. Press 4 to change to the earth spirit. Press E to cause an earthquake. So, when we're close enough and we press E, we'll be able to destroy this rock. And there we go. The rock is destroyed, and now we can get closer to it. Or we can get past it, I mean. It's a little tricky getting up, so you gotta be kind of careful. Getting up and over these falling rocks can be a pain sometimes. Alright. Continuing on, I've got spotlights on the stairs to lead the player up here. Got our first page. Now, over here, it's clear we're going to need to use our earthquake ability to get to the next area. There's an interesting figure looking NPC over there, so I'll definitely want to check that out. First, I'm going to go over here and explore this area, but there is a closed gate over here. There's nothing we can do to get past it. We'll definitely come back later, though. Now let's check out that NPC. When we go up to it, he's going to start talking to us. Halt! How did you get in here? I will never let you leave unless you recover all 5 pages of peace hidden inside my temple. Come back to me if you find them, and I might let you leave this place. So we have our win condition there is we have to return with all 5 pages. So let's continue onward. We're going to go ahead and use our earthquake again. It doesn't do any damage to the character when those pieces hit, but it is scary. So once that settles, I'm going to go ahead and jump over the rocks. It's going to be tricky again. Hopefully we don't fall in and get stuck. Okay. These doors are locked. We should use our element powers to open each door. I bet we can find pages inside. So each door, there's going to be 3 element doors. One is fire, one is earth, and one is ice. First, let's collect this page over here. So that's our second. We're going to need 3 more. There's one in each room. We have to complete a trial of each one to gain them all. So, it doesn't matter which order we go in, but I'm going to start with ice because that one is the easiest one. Because there's no way we can die in here. Let's go ahead and open the door. Once we go through, it says, see that moving target? Let's try hitting it with our ice power. So once we get on the platform, I'm going to go ahead and aim and try and hit that. It might take a few times because it's a little tricky, but eventually we will get it. You just gotta aim it right. And time it correctly. There we go. And once we do that, we get our next page. Collect that, and let's go to the next room. Next, I am going to go over to the fire room. Let's break this door. Alright. So in here is where a lost condition can happen. If we have 0 health, we will die and the level will restart. So if we touch this, we're gonna get hurt. I don't have any health packs in this level. It's kind of a shorter level, and it's to increase the challenge. There's not too much that can kill the character, so there shouldn't be an issue with frustration. I'm gonna go ahead and burn this down. And there's just a couple more jumps to get over these. I'm gonna try really hard not to get hit. I only got hit a few times. That's fine. Okay. I have a spotlight over here showing the player you need to go onto this elevator thing. And once we do, we go up. Okay. Let's continue and follow the path. There's our page up ahead. So we finished the fire trial. We have 4 more to go. I can see it way over there, but there's no way to get to it from here. It's just showing me that's where it's gonna be. Alright, let's go through the earth door. I'm gonna change to my earth spirit, and this one's tricky to open. You've got to aim it right and be a specific distance away. Let's try and see if we can get up here. Got it. Awesome. Okay, so coming here, you'll start seeing some stone built into partially into the room, because this is the earth trial. There's going to be more earthy elements. To the left, there's a spotlight showing the player to go onto the escalator here, or the elevator. We'll shoot up. Once we're up here, we're going to jump off, and we end up outside on the mountain cliffs. Up here is where we need to use our earthquake ability again, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. And it shatters. The player needs to be in a specific distance to the rock in order for it to break. If the player is not, then it will not break. It's really difficult getting through this, though. But that's part of the earth trial, is getting through the little rocks. Now we gotta make correct jumps to jump over these logs. This is where we can also die if we get hit too much. Once we do that, we can break this rock too with the earthquake. Ugh, it's very scary. I feel like they're coming at me. Alright, once they settle, I'm gonna jump across them. Alright. Now we're in the area we saw earlier. We can go ahead and collect the last page, and once we do, the spirit will tell us where to go next. We found all the pages. Let's go back to the Earth Lord so we can get out of here. Alright. So we're going to go back down and drop and go back to where that NPC was. Okay, so once we go up to him, he'll have a different message for us. You have found all 5 pages. You have shown me you are worthy of peace through the lands. I will grant you passage to go home. The gate to the right is now open. Farewell, hero. So now we can go back to that gate I showed you earlier, and it is open, and we can leave the temple, and the game will be won. And there you have it. Congrats, you made it. We finished the game. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna go ahead and quit now.